Hello and welcome. You're watching India Upfront. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Today, the Congress and other I.N.D.I.A members held nationwide protests against the murder of democracy. They hit the streets against the suspension of close to 150 MPs from the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha over the last 2 weeks over the Parliament security breach. As the parties joined hands, the overarching theme was a joint fight against fascism and an attempt to save the last vestiges of democracy and freedom. Listen in.
देश को बचाने के लिए, संविधान को बचाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए हम सब एक होकर लड़ रहे हैं।
ये लड़ाई नफरत और मोहब्बत के बीच में लड़ाई है। जैसे मैंने कहा, नफरत के बाजार में हम मोहब्बत की दुकान खोल रहे हैं।
जो व्यक्ति और जो निजाम अभी सत्ता में है, उसे विपक्ष मुक्त संसद चाहिए, प्रतिरोध मुक्त सड़क चाहिए, खिलाड़ी मुक्त खेल चाहिए।
You are making parliament redundant. If parliament becomes redundant, democracy dies, democracy is killed. This is what Mr. Modi and this government are doing.
जनतंत्र को बचाना है, हमारे संविधान को बचाना है, तो ये अनिवार्य है कि आज जो सरकार में है, आज ये भाजपा की जो सरकार है, इस भाजपा को सत्ता से और सरकार से दूर रखना अनिवार्य है।
Now, leading the charge against the centre was Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, who directly targeted the Prime Minister. He said that this major security breach is not just a failure of the Modi government, but also proof that the centre had not been able to deliver on the promise to provide employment to youth. And that is what ultimately led to the security breach. He also said that he has conducted a survey among the youth of the country, and that showed 7 hours were spent by the youth on their phone, on Instagram, on social media. Why? Because none of them had a job.
2-3 युवा जंप करके अंदर आ गए। जंप करते हुए हम सब ने देखा। अंदर आए, थोड़ा धुआं फैलाया, बीजेपी के सांसद सब भाग लिए। वो अलग बात है। वो अलग बात है। जो अपने आप को देशभक्त कहते हैं, हवा निकल गई उनकी। वो टीवी पे आपको नहीं दिखा, वो हमें दिख रहा था पीछे से। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने उसको रोजगार नहीं दिया है। रोजगार उससे छीन लिया है और उसको एक ही रास्ता दिया है, सेल फोन पर इंस्टाग्राम को मतलब देखते रहो, 24 घंटा देखते रहो। ये है हिंदुस्तान की हालत, सच्ची हालत। इसीलिए ये जो युवा थे जिन्होंने सिक्योरिटी ब्रीच जरूर की, वो भी आपकी गलती है। इसलिए वो पार्लियामेंट हाउस में कूद कर आए।
Now, the BJP, on the other hand, went on the offensive. Earlier, remember, the Prime Minister in a meeting of the Parliamentary party had questioned whether there is a tacit support to those who intruded inside Parliament. Today, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Padmaja Joshi in fact reiterated that charge and even hinted that perhaps what has happened inside Parliament, the intrusion, the effort at trying to release a smoke bomb inside was all a part of a well thought out conspiracy.
Rahul Gandhi doesn't understand what he is speaking. Somebody will guide him, somebody will write and give it to him, and वो पढ़ते हैं, ये problem है. So in a way they have supported the people who doesn't believe in the Constitution of India, people who believe in the constitutional institution of India, इन लोगों को सपोर्ट करते हुए ऐसे टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग को पहले सपोर्ट किए थे। हम तो सस्पेंड करना नहीं चाहते थे, टू बी वेरी वेरी फर्म, वी रिक्वेस्टेड देम लाइक एनीथिंग, बट मेनी एमपीज, कुछ लोगों को हमने सस्पेंड किया शुरुआत के दिन में, बाद में सब लोग आके रिक्वेस्ट करना शुरू किया, हमको बाहर जाना है, हमको सस्पेंड करो करके। ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का लेवल है। और अभी कर्नाटक में जो नया सरकार सिद्धरामैया जी के नेतृत्व में नया सरकार कार्यभार संभालने के शुरू करने के बाद एक व्यक्ति 1 घंटा से ज्यादा, मोर देन 1 आवर, ही सैट इन दी असेंबली सेशन, तब तक पता ही नहीं चला। तो इसलिए ये जो घटना है ये गंभीर घटना है, ऐसे सरकार भी मानते हैं और इसलिए पूरा इसका जांच चल रहा है।
I.N.D.A alliance is creating north and south divide, creating the cultural divide. After the elections in these 3 states, we have seen the morale of the I.N.D.A alliance have gone down. Unfortunately, the members of the opposition parties, this I.N.D.A alliance, did not come together. Senior leader of Congress party was making the video. It seemed that he's unemployed.
As of today, the direct fight is between a united opposition which has taken up the theme of a muzzling of any kind of dissent, that there is a security breach, that whenever somebody tries to question it, they are thrown out of the house. And on the other side, the BJP, which is saying that this is not a coincidence, the attack itself and perhaps the reaction afterwards, all of it is well thought out, all of it is to a plan. It is a strategy to corner the government, and in fact, the government is not an offender, but a victim. This is the political positioning, and make no mistake, it is directed at the voter in the run-up to 2024, but at the end of a fractious winter session of Parliament, who is really going to be able to convince the voter about who is responsible for the attack on Parliament. Let's take this across to the guest. Joining us now is R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP, JVC Sriram, political commentator, Lokesh Jindal, political analyst, Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst, and Manoj Yadav, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. I want to start with you, Manoj Yadav ji. आज जो भाजपा के मंत्री हैं, जो केंद्रीय मंत्री हैं, उन्होंने एक बहुत सीरियस इल्जाम लगाया है। आपने प्रहलाद जोशी जी को सुना होगा, उन्होंने साफ साफ बोला है कि ये तो प्लान्ड था और राहुल गांधी अब कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनको क्लीन चिट दे दी जाए। बेरोजगारी के नाम पे पार्लियामेंट को अटैक करने वालों को क्लीन चिट दी जा रही है, विपक्ष को उन्होंने घेरा है। आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए पद्मजा जी, अगर एक कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर होकर इस तरह की बात कह रहे हैं, आरोप लगा रहे हैं, राहुल गांधी जी ने क्या कहा? यही बात तो कही ना कि वो बात पहले तो सभी को पता चला कि अटैक हुआ है, आतंकवादी हैं, बात को पता चला, वो तो प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, वो अपने ही देश के नागरिक हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात उसमें ज्यादातर लोग जो है वो हिंदू हैं। फिर इस मंत्री जी को इस तरह की बात कहते हुए कि राहुल गांधी उनको प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हैं या फ्री छोड़ने की बात, मैंने तो स्टेटमेंट नहीं सुना। हाँ, इस बात की बात जरूर कही कि पूरे देश में बेरोजगारी बहुत तेजी से फैल रही है, कोरोना की तरह है बेरोजगारी, लेकिन कुछ लोगों की आंखों पे पता नहीं कौन सा चश्मा चढ़ा है, वो बताना ही नहीं चाहते। लेकिन वो बताएंगे क्यों?
तो आपको लग रहा है कि अगर बेरोजगारी है तो संसद के अंदर घुस जाना चाहिए?
गाड़ी खरीदी जाती है,
अगर बेरोजगारी है तो संसद के अंदर घुस जाना चाहिए?
बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं।
तो क्या ये टेरर अटैक है या नहीं है?
सड़कें हैं, प्रधानमंत्री का आवास है। क्या सवाल पूछा आपने? क्या
ये टेरर अटैक है या नहीं है? इसको टेरर अटैक की तरह ट्रीट किया जाना चाहिए कि नहीं किया जाना चाहिए?
अब ये तो सरकार जवाब दे, इसीलिए तो विपक्ष पूछ रहा है।
नहीं, आपका क्या मत है?
जी खामोश है।
आपको लगता है टेरर अटैक है या नहीं लगता?
ख्याल से लीन हो गए तपस्या में। नहीं, ये टेरर अटैक कैसे हो सकता है? लेकिन संसद भवन में इस तरह बिना परमिशन के अगर कोई आम आदमी भी घुस जाता है तो वो संसद की सुरक्षा में भारी चूक है। क्योंकि ये तो मान लो प्रोटेस्ट करने वाले थे, कल को इसी तरह कोई और कुछ लेके चला आए तब क्या होगा?
कोई मानव बम आ जाए, कोई चाकू लेके चला आए, कोई और कुछ लेके चला आए, तब क्या होगा? और मैं कहता हूं वो भाजपा का भी सांसद हो सकता है अटैक करने वो सदन के अंदर, तो पूरी दुनिया में कितनी बेइज्जती होगी कि भारत में जब सांसद नहीं सुरक्षित है सदन के अंदर, तो फिर भारत में सुरक्षित क्या है? आप पाकिस्तान की स्थिति देखिए क्या है, वहां कोई क्रिकेट मैच खेलने नहीं जाता। क्यों? क्योंकि उस देश में सुरक्षा का कोई पुख्ता इंतजाम ही नहीं है। पूरी दुनिया को पता है, कोई देश उनके देश में क्रिकेट खेलने के नहीं जाता है। तो क्या नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी इस देश को अस्थिर करना चाहते हैं?
Okay, RP Singh respond. Here are people asking legitimate questions about the security breach, and you have turned it into an opposition's conspiracy. For the Parliamentary Affairs Minister to say that, oh, they are the ones who are behind the attack.
Well, Padmaja, first let's understand what exactly happened and how the whole of the issue is being covered up, or how the issue is being deflected to unemployment. Fact is that there were people who breached the security, we admit that, and the security of the parliament or the all domain of the parliament is with the Speaker of the Parliament. He immediately constituted a committee. He immediately constituted under the DG CRPF, and that committee is looking into the matter. And it will come out with the complete details. Police is also investigating the matter. They will also come with the complete details. We all know that this didn't happen all of a sudden. There was a recce which was done. It's on record. There was a recce which was done earlier, and someone had issued passes then also. And why 13th December as a date? So, saying that this youth is unemployed, that's why they did so. The girl there in this team is one who has some degrees of MPhil and BA and everything. I mean, is she unemployed, or she wants to stay unemployed, or she has seek some other employment? I mean, which is being part of the I'm saying so, urban Naxal team, so that we can divert people attention. We can do something for our set of people, or to harm the nation's interests. I mean, is she part of that team? And there's another one who's an engineer.
When you're saying urban Naxal team, are you saying that the opposition in some way prompting them or goading them or financing them or plotting with them?
Let me, I'll come to that also. As you missed on one part, I said someone issued the passes earlier. Someone helped them to do recce earlier. Well, that name still has to reveal, because the investigation is still on. We don't know. But this is on record that they did the recce earlier. And then
Professor Manojit Mandal is laughing at it.
Who have done it. I mean,
you're talking about a recce. Professor Manojit Mandal is laughing at that. Why are you laughing, Professor Mandal? It's a parliament security breach.
No.
Let him quickly respond. Let him quickly respond. I'll come back to you. Professor Mandal.
At the fact. Okay, yeah, I'll respond. I'm laughing at his plight because the person who helped them get inside the parliament is their own MP. He issued the pass, Mr. Pratap Simhaya. He made the recce's, and this person remained untouched inside the parliament. If you call this is terror attack, the first person should be arrested is your MP, because he shielded them. He made them the entry into the parliament. What are you talking about? I mean, BJP is not at all serious about this thing. The only point that the BJP wanted, now it is crystal clear to this nation. They wanted to have this kind of pretext to suspend as many as 143 opposition MPs, so that the bills, some of the tendencies bills, including a bill or a law which existed in this country for 160 years, it could be passed without any debate, without any resistance. I am making this charge on TV. There has to be a comprehensive inquiry under the direction of the Supreme Court as to who is responsible. It is crystal clear that one BJP MP who had allowed them the entry. What is the motive behind that?
But Prahlad Joshi is saying these intruders are supported by the Congress. His direct charge was Lokesh Jindal. These intruders supported by Congress.
Amazing. A person.
Padmaja, I never completed. Can I make my point?
Padmaja. What does the meaning of this pass? Who is
Lokesh Jindal, let him also come in, and then RP Singh, I'll let you respond.
Issued by the Secretary of
when members of parliament are suspended, you are denying the representatives of Indian citizens to come and participate in lawmaking procedure. So in Lok Sabha, if 100 MPs are being suspended, so effectively the entire mathematics of passing the bill changes. Now look at it. There are 543 MPs in Lok Sabha. In certain bills, they require special majority. So what happens over here is the moment you suspend 100 MPs, so the total number of MPs present over there are 443. So if there is a bill that is to be introduced via special majority, you have a certain advantage. Now, BJP over here, it could have undertaken any constitutional amendment it wanted to. It could have done anything in the constitution. It could have completely changed the entire fabric of the constitution by simply suspending all the opposition.
You are saying that the BJP planned the attack, then got people suspended, then ran the bills through.
No, there are all angles that need to be probed into, because it is not something very simple. 141 MPs, if they are suspended, Padmaja, that means
46.
You are giving arms and ammunition to the ruling dispensation to actually come out with a bill to alter the entire constitution.
Okay, so that is an even bigger conspiracy theory. Respond to this, RP Singh. You are saying that they plotted the attack. Lokesh Jindal is saying you plotted the attack, gave them the pass so that then you could suspend MPs and pass your bills. Conspiracy theories on both sides.
Padmaja, I'll appreciate if you allow me to complete my point. You got Mr. Mandal in between. I said there was passes issued before this also for doing the Rekhi. And this is possible that Pratap Sema could have been used as a cover-up. The fact is that who gave the passes for the Rekhi, that's more important. So that they did what they did now as per instructions. So this still has to be revealed. This inquiry committee will let us know what exactly happened, what exactly transpired. But coming to the 146 MPs being suspended, on 23rd of May this year, all member of parliament, all leaders of the House sat with the Speaker and the Chairman of the House, and they made a point, and in which it was categorically stated that they won't use placard. They came to this conclusion that none of the opposition leader of the ruling party will use placard in the House. And this was decided. So once this was decided, if they breach the terms which are decided, obviously what's the option? With the Speaker or with the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha? And also, who told them to go to podium and do what they did? So there are decorum. What they are doing today in Jantar Mantar, they are peaceful. At Jantar Mantar, they are sitting peaceful, as they should sit in the Parliament and debate.
Okay, Lokesh Jindal, respond.
But in Parliament, they are doing what they are supposed to do.
When Business Advisory Committee was told again and again, and by the way, the Speaker said again and again, here is what Mr. Birla said inside the House. He said, all of you have agreed that you will uphold the dignity of the House. You will not carry placards inside. You will not sloganeer inside the House. And yet this is happening, so I have to suspend you. This, he said, was a gentleman's agreement.
No, there are various instruments that are available to the Speaker and Chairman, whereby the House could be adjourned. There are various ways via which he can bring about a discipline and decorum in the House. But then suspending an MP is something very, very dangerous. It sets a dangerous precedent. You are almost giving ammunition to the ruling party to do whatever they want. It is nothing less than an emergency. Because the moment you change the entire mathematical equation in the Parliament, you are having all the necessary and sufficient conditions to come out with any form of a bill and pass it and have a perpetual form of a system introduced. What if the government would have introduced that henceforth the number of years for the ruling party would be 10 years, 15 years, council for life or anything? There wouldn't have been any opposition. And the president is bound by aid and advice of council.
So, Mr. Jindal, do you want the House to stop any kind of business because people have been suspended because they are sloganeering? You're not answering the question. If there is an agreement that we will not disrupt the House and disruptions happen, what would you do?
Well, in that case, Padmaja, there are various other means. Previously, when Meera Kumar used to be the Speaker, look at her conduct. Every time it was very orderly, very politely. She used to, I mean, it's very popular. "Aap sab shant ho jaiye, baith jaiye." There was a method, there was a way within which the parliament used to carry out its function. Look at all the statistical record. Since 2014, the number of public account CAG reports, they have reduced to less than 20. The number of business that have been transacted have been reduced. The number of deliberation have been reduced. Number of hours have been reduced. Parliament has ceased to function as a deliberative institution.
But the
And
Vice
now when
President
MPs are
today
getting-
said, Vice President today said, we still had about 70% productivity. However, disruptions are being weaponized. Manoj Yadav ji, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट का कहना है, I'll come to you JVC श्रीराम, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट कह रहे हैं कि डिसरप्शंस को एक हथियार बना लिया गया है इन ऑर्डर टू इंश्योर कि आप घेर मोदी सरकार को रहे हैं और आप कोशिश तो मोदी सरकार को घेरने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, बट द लूजर इज राज्यसभा एंड राज्यसभा बिजनेस.
देखिए पद्मजा जी, बीजेपी के साथी हों, कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हों या संविधान के उच्च पदों पे बैठे हुए लोग हों, ऐसे रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं जैसे विपक्ष इस देश का नहीं है, किसी दूसरे देश से आया हुआ है. क्या मैं समझूं? आप लगातार विपक्ष को निशाना बना रहे हैं. हम किससे कहें? हम संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ भी नहीं जा सकते. अगर संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ जाते हैं कोई बात लेके अपने देश की, तो उसमें भी हमारी भारी बेइज्जती है. ये तो कुछ लोग थे, हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश की एक ऑनर किलिंग का मैटर लेके चले गए थे संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ में. उत्तर प्रदेश के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की व्यवस्था, कुछ बेशर्म लोग हैं इस देश में. लेकिन मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूं, कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर ने कहा, प्रहलाद जोशी कहा है कि अगर बेरोजगारी है भी तो क्या उन लोगों को ऐसा करना चाहिए था? ये बात पे मैं जरूर जवाब देना चाहूंगा. निश्चय ही बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. लेकिन अगर बेरोजगारी है तो क्या सरकार को ऐसे रिएक्ट करना चाहिए? अगर कोई रोजगार मांगे तो उसको लाठियों से पीटोगे? अगर कोई रोजगार मांगे तो उसको यूएपीए लगा दोगे? अगर कोई रोजगार मांगे तो उसको देशद्रोही कह दोगे?
यूएपीए नौकरी मांगने के लिए नहीं लगा है, यूएपीए संसद में कूदने के लिए लगा है. सर, यूएपीए संसद में कूदने के लिए लगा है. आप जंतर मंतर पे बैठिए, नौकरी बेशक मांगिए,
नहीं कर रहा हूं,
बट आप पार्लियामेंट में कूद के नौकरी नहीं मांग सकते ना.
आपको नहीं मालूम है क्या? एक सेकंड, अग्निवीर को लेके आंदोलन हुए, कितनों पे यूएपीए लगा दिया?
क्योंकि ट्रेन जलाई गई.
कौन से मैं उदाहरण दूं?
ट्रेन जलाई गई.
सरकार ने जो 2000,
आप कह रहे हैं कि ट्रेन जलाने के बाद क्या करना चाहिए? उनको मंच पे बैठा करके उनको ऑलिव ब्रांच देना चाहिए.
अगर कुछ नहीं करना चाहिए तो वो सरकार फेल है.
और आपको पता है ना कि जो ट्रेन जलाई गई वो बीजेपी की सरकार ही नहीं, बिहार में ट्रेन जलाई गई और वहां पे भी पुलिस के मुकदमे हुए हैं, क्योंकि बिहार में आगजनी की गई, वहां पर तोड़फोड़ की गई और वहां पर भी उनके ऊपर पुलिस के मुकदमे किए गए.
बिल्कुल मुकदमे होंगे. मैं कह रहा हूं पद्मजा जी, बिल्कुल आई रिक्वेस्ट यू, प्लीज मुझे लाइन कंप्लीट कर लेने दीजिए. मैं आपके सारे सवालों का जवाब देना चाहता हूं. जो सरकार 2014 से पहले जो पार्टी इस देश के चुने हुए मुद्दों को सामने रखती थी, चाहे वो रोजगार की बात हो, चाहे भ्रष्टाचार की बात हो, चाहे नोटबंदी को जो उनका भ्रष्टाचार में इंक्लूड है, चाहे वो और तमाम सारे मुद्दे हों, उनको छूना नहीं चाहती है. क्यों? क्या दिक्कत हो गई? 2014 से पहले तो ये आपके लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण था. और उपराष्ट्रपति जी के लिए एक ही बात कहना है, आपने जो किया इतने घटना के बाद, आपकी मिमिक्री होने के बाद जो आपने किया, वो शर्मसार था. आज तक किसी राष्ट्रपति ने, उपराष्ट्रपति ने इस तरह रिएक्ट नहीं किया, चाहे वो मीरा कुमार जी रही हो, चाहे अंसारी साहब रहे हो.
नहीं, आप कह रहे हैं कि धनखड़ जी को शर्मसार होना चाहिए.
कभी किसी ने इतना मुद्दा नहीं बनाया.
उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए. क्यों
होना चाहिए? क्योंकि उन्होंने मोदी जी का कहना माना, वो मोदी जी की लाइन पे आ गए. उनको इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी में ये बात ध्यान रखना चाहिए था कि मैं अगर उपराष्ट्रपति के पद पे हूं तो मुझे किसी प्रधानमंत्री की बात को नहीं सुनना.
Okay, this is very curious. Respond to this, JVC Shriram. Mr. Manoj Yadav is saying that it is the vice president who should introspect why he politicized a mere mimicry. He is playing the prime minister's hand.
Absolutely no. In fact, I need to make few points here. They made a mockery of things. Point number one, I would like to ask, is the I.N.D.I.A MP aware that these people have come to a security threat because of unemployment? Has they spoken to them? Is the Wayanad MP knowing who are the intruders much before? Point number one. Point number two, that 43-year-old lady who has multiple degrees, does she want to be unemployed or does she want to just be a protester who is also part of the farm laws protest? Number three, the MPs who stand on top of the podium, of the speaker's podium, including Kanyakumari MP, Mr. Vasant. Boy, if they do such things, what do you expect the speaker to do? Will the speaker keep quiet?
Manoj
Do you
Yadav.
know, Mr. Lokesh Jindal, that 1 minute of disruption in the Lok Sabha cost 1 minute. 1 minute of disruption in the Lok Sabha cost 2.5 lakh to the exchequer. And one disruption cost 144 crores to the exchequer. It is public's money. Allow me to speak. Allow me to speak. I didn't interrupt. I didn't interrupt when you spoke. I didn't interrupt when you spoke. You keep quiet now.
Okay,
you
okay,
keep
go on.
quiet now. And point number 5, Shashi Tharoor, when he entered into the parliament, he said, I am carrying the placard. He tweeted saying that I am carrying the placard, knowing pretty well that I will be suspended, which means every Congress and opposition MP entered into the parliament to disrupt and to get
Lokesh
suspended.
Jindal.
That was the intent. Their intent was not to carry out business, but to get suspended. And
I want to answer.
Okay. Intent was to get. Okay. You've again repeated the same thing. I want to play out that bit by Prahlad Joshi where he also says, and again, this is a very strong charge for the government to be making, saying that we suspended a few. They came to us and said, suspend the rest. Listen.
हम तो सस्पेंड करना नहीं चाहते थे. To be very, very firm, we requested them like anything. But many MPs, कुछ लोगों को हमने सस्पेंड किया शुरुआत के दिन में. बाद में सब लोग आके रिक्वेस्ट करना शुरू किया, हमको बाहर जाना है, हमको सस्पेंड करो करके. ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का लेवल है.
रिस्पॉन्ड लोकेश जिंदल कि कांग्रेस के लोग जाके कह रहे हैं हमें सस्पेंड करो.
Padmaja, if the parliamentarians demanded an explanation, a statement from the Home Minister and the Prime Minister, I don't understand what's the harm in asking them to come out with a statement. Rather than suspending the member of parliament, the parliament could have simply asked the Home Minister to address the entire floor and explain as to why did security breach happen. What do you think it is the parliament,
JVC.
sir? We have a parliamentary form of democracy.
Arrogance.
We don't have
can you answer
a
to my question?
form of government.
JVC, this is arrogance.
Lokesh Jindal, can you answer to my question?
Yeah. First, you answer my question. Why didn't the Home Minister and Prime Minister come out with a statement? Whose
No, my
responsibility
question
is
to you is, why did Shashi Tharoor, an honorable MP like Shashi Tharoor, said, I am going to carry the placard knowing pretty well that I am going to get suspended?
You leave that. First, tell me one thing. What is the parliament here for? You told me that 1 minute, if it is wasted, this much of rupees it is
Parliament is
costing. Tell me why
Lokesh,
the representatives elected.
the responsibility of conducting business. The responsibility. Lokesh, the responsibility of conducting parliamentary business does not only rest with the government, it also rests with the opposition. If the opposition behaves in this manner, which is mindless, then there is no other go other than the Vice President
and the Vice President dissociated completely with the political parties. Will you come out with a bill that henceforth the Speaker and the Vice President Chairman of Rajya Sabha, they shall be disconnected from any political party? They are taking a political stand. Mr. Dhankar outrightly is speaking the towing the line of the BJP. The Speaker is towing the line of BJP.
The member of Parliament from the Treasury benches go and stand on the podium. Does the member of parliament go for the treasury benches go and stand on the podium?
Decorum in the house.
Why did the Congress MPs get on the podium?
You
do not know decorum. Your MPs do not know decorum. You don't come there for discussion and discourse on democracy. You come there for disruption. You disrupt my money, your money.
No, you are disrupting the entire nation's money. When you are suspending 146 MPs, you are disrupting the entire nation's money. You are not considering the Indian citizens who have the right to be represented in the parliament. Their rights are deprived. How dare you? It is unconstitutional. I don't know why is it the Supreme Court intervening.
Do you have the right to go and stand on the speaker's podium?
It is first of all completely unconstitutional for you to deprive 146 constituencies of being represented in the parliament.
It's a disgrace.
Who gave you the right?
What you are talking about, Lokesh,
Who gave you the right
You are a
take
disgrace.
away the
Let me tell
representation
you,
of 146
you are talking
constituencies.
disgrace. Yes.
On what basis?
Speaker has a responsibility.
Okay, okay.
Speaker has a responsibility.
It is the constitution.
Okay,
first.
so this clearly is the theme, that you have 146 parliamentarians who have been silenced, who out of turn have been thrown out of the top house of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha of our country. The government, though, is saying that this entire disruption has been orchestrated in a fashion that some people have been used, an issue has been used or weaponized, as the Vice President said, in order to try and corner the government. The decision ultimately will be in the People's Court. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining me.